Been it over?
Do I need to repeat the same explanation once again?
No, no.
Okay. So up to what we have covered? We have covered up to this slide, right?
Yeah.
Null function, right? Today we will discuss about these function, right? Case and decode. So first of all, what is case and decode, right? In your previous section, you have seen whatever we are covering row wise, right? So sometimes in your row wise operation, let's say for example, you are having some value like department ID IT prog, right? IT prog, or your department ID could be your sales representative, right? Like this. If you are having these kind of value, and based on that you wanted to derive some new column, right? Based on that you want to drive some value like it
Mm-hmm.
will be IT programmer, right? IT programmer or sales representative, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sales representative. That time, I mean, when you have some value and based on that value or based on some condition, you are driving some new values or you are creating a new column in your record set, that time we are using decode function. Okay? Decode or your case statement. Generally these two, generally your case and decode, right? Your case and decode are used whenever you will find a condition like if else, right? In your SQL statement or in any programming language, you must have gone with Python or some other programming language in your course, right? So there you have some logic like if A, then your value should be 10. If B, then your value should be 20, like that, right? So similar concept in your SQL if you wanted to write, okay, so that you can write it using your case statement and your decode function, right? So remember always case is a statement and your decode is a function. Your decode is a function. Why? Because in the function we know function is a piece of code where you will pass some input in the specified format and in returns you will get some value, right? So here let's first discuss about decode function. Okay, so in decode function you see start with decode, then we are putting some expression or column, right? Then your search value, your result, search value and result, right?
Mm-hmm.
If let's say for example this one is the example, right? So from customer it is decoding the value of reason, right? Like if reason code is N, then it should return north. If reason code is S, then it should return south. If region code is E, then it should return east. If W, then west. For the rest, it should be unknown, right? So we'll see in the example, right? But for the time being, you can notice, right? Whatever value we are putting, that value is in the pair of 2, right? These two,
Yep.
these two, these two, right? So this one is your search field, right? That yes, whatever we are searching, and this one is your result field, right? So if in region code value N is there, then it will return north. If S, then it will return south, like that. Okay,
Yeah.
it will give you the value, right? So So let's do some coding in SQL prompt, then it will be much more clear to you, right? So let me write the code first. So Decode is clear to you, I mean concept wise?
Not really, but when we do example,
Okay. Okay, so let's see examples first, right? In Python, you must have seen these kind of expression, right? If
yeah,
this value equals to this, then return this. If this value equals to this, then return something, right? In this type of expression you must have seen, right? So in Decode, if you wanted to write it like that, right? So this one is your expression, right, as per the syntax which we have seen in the slide, right? We have seen in the slide, right? First
yeah,
one is your expression, right? Then your search criteria, then your result, right? So this one is your expression, this one is your search criteria, this one is your result of the search criteria after matching, right? So in one is equals to 2, not, right? So this is not matching, so it will return some null value, right?
yeah,
Let's see null value. Why? Because value is not matching, right? Similarly, if you go to this if else condition, right, 1 equals to 2, it is false, right? So it should go to this particular section, right? It will go to this particular section, right, according to if else, right? Because if condition is satisfied, then it will go to this block. If
yeah,
condition is false, then it will go to this block, right?
yeah,
So now consider this decode statement, right? According to that, this one is your expression, right? Expression is 1, 1 is equals to 2, false, right? So this condition is not satisfied, right? So this result will not, you will not get the result as equal, you will get what? Not equals, because this is your else part, right? So if I execute it, you will see not equals, right? But if you place here 1, right? If you place here 1, then 1 is equals to 1, right? So it will give you equal. See, right?
yeah.
Getting it? Okay. So now let's take an example of real time scenario, right? Here what we are doing, we are decoding the value, right? We are decoding the value of job ID, which I have shared in the slide. Job ID is IT, then it will give you IT programmer. If FI accountant means finance accountant, for the rest it will be a job as it is job ID, right? Or, or let's say for example, I commented out this thing, right? So let me execute this statement. See what happened now. See, for the FI accountant, right? For the FI accountant, what we are giving? Finance accountant, right? So we are getting the value, right? But for the others, right, like IT prog, we have not given any value. Or let's say for example your sales representative. Let's see, IT prog. Let
Yeah.
me take this one, right? IT prog. Now if I execute this query, you will see for IT prog it will give you IT programmer, right? Because we are decoding this value IT prog to IT programmer, right? But if you now what is your concern? Concern is your null value, right? So for AC accountant, for ACMGR, for ADMST, we have not given any value, right? We have not decoded it. So as we have discussed in the previous lecture, right, that what for any value, right, if we are not assigning for any expression, if we are not assigning any value, right, then it will give you it will give you the, sorry, just a minute. Okay, so if you are not giving any value during your SQL statement to convert your value, right, that time what it will take, it will take a default value, right, and in SQL the default value, if you are not specifying anything, then Oracle will take it a null value, right, because null is unassigned unavailable value, right. So by default it will take null, right. Now what we will do, let me put this, right, let me put this simply for the else part, let me mention employee, just a employee, right. So for all the values it will create, for the rest it will give employee, 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 right. So the importance of the else part is clear to you in your expression. Hello.
I'm still gonna check it. I don't really understand it. I'm still gonna keep checking it.
Okay. So let me repeat it once again. Right. Now forget about this. Forget about this expression. Right. Just a second. Let me execute these two query into two separate window. Right. So that it will be clear to you. Let me close this one. See here what you are having. Wait, let me put distinct. Here what you can see, a lot of job ID code, right, lot of job ID code, but you want, there is no job description, right. So being a manager or being a user of your database, right, you you will not able to understand what is SA underscore REP, right, you won't understand. If a normal user who don't have any idea regarding the business, right, he cannot understand it, right. So you need to have some kind of description for your job ID, right. So what are the possible options you are having? Either you can create one column and you update with the value as a description, or in the SQL part you can create this kind of column in runtime, right. So creating a column and updating it will be a challenging task. So we will simply write one query and we will generate this kind of description, right. So how you can generate this kind of description, right. So for generating this kind of description, you can use decode function. You are simply decoding this value to a new value, right. So here job ID is IT programmer, right. Here you see job ID is IT programmer. So what we are doing for this, we are specifying, wait, let me put here distinct so that lesser number of record will be there, so that you can easily understand it. So see, so here you see for FI accountant we have decoded this value, right. For IT prog we have encoded this value to IT prog. For the remaining what we are getting previously as null, right, because we have not specified any value for the unknown column, right. So we are getting null value, but we are replacing the else condition with employee, so we are getting the actual value which we have given it, right. So see here you are getting null value because we have not specified the else part, right. This is your else part basically. This is your else part, because as you know, these values are coming in pair, right? So
Mm-hmm.
first one is your expression, this one is your expression, this one is your search criteria, this one is your search result, right? Clear? Wait, let me take a open paint and explain you. Let me take the slide snippet as well. In front of you so that it will be clear to you. See, what is your I mean, what we are doing here? What is our condition? Our condition is first expression, right? So in expression part, what we are giving? Job ID, right? Then is your search criteria. So in search criteria, what we are putting? IT proc, right? In your result, next is your result, so we are passing result, right? In second we are passing again the next search list, again the next search result, right? So in this way continuously we are passing some value, and at the end we are not specifying this clause, default clause, right? So as we have not specified the default value, what we are getting? We are getting null for the default, right? For the value IT FI accountant, right? So FI accountant, you see here FI accountant, so value replaced with finance accountant, right? So now it is clear to you the decode function, or still doubt? Hello,
Uh,
clear or still doubt? Let me take another example, right? Then it will be clear to you. Let's say for example you are having a reason code, right? This, here you see you are having a different reason ID and reason name, right? So for Europe you wanted to for this reason name you wanted to generate some reason code, right? Because in many application you have seen against your reason name you are getting some kind of code, right? So let's say for example for India IND, right? So like that. So for Europe EU, right? For America it's AM, for Asia it is AS, for Middle East it's EMEA, right? So if you want to generate this kind of code, how you can generate it, right? So you are having this column value and you want to generate some another column, right? So based on decode we can do it, right? So I have already written this decode function. Let me execute it and explain you, right? So see here what we are doing, we are we have passed for Europe it's AU, right? For Americas it's AM, right? For Asia it is AS, right? For Middle East we have not given anything, right? For Middle East we have not specified anything, so it is taking the default value as else, right? Now if I commented out this thing, and if we pass for America, for Middle East and Africa also some value, you will see it will be replaced with EMEA, right? Clear? Clear or still doubt?
Yeah.
Okay. So in the same way, you can do some job ID conversion, right? Now, let's discuss about a case statement, right? Here, what is the problem? What is the problem? You will get it when you will use decode function, right? Let's take this example, right? Here only let me explain you, right? Here you see the value is Americas, right? And
Mm-hmm.
here we have given America only, right?
Yeah.
So these two values are not equals. That's why it is returning else part, right? So your decode function only works on your equality comparison operator, right? If the values are equal, then it will give you the value, right? If the values are not equals, then it will not give you the
Got
value as per your result, right? So always remember your decode is working on your equals to comparison operator, right? So how
it.
many comparison operators are there? How many comparison operators are there? We have discussed in the beginning, right? Your greater than, your less than, your not equals to, right?
Yeah.
These are your equals to. These are your comparison operator, right?
Yeah.
Compare operator, right? So out of this, it is only considering equals to comparison operator. If if value, it is like this, if n equals to, if reason equals to your n, right, then it is north, like that it is treating. But what if you have a expression like salary greater than 5,000, right? You cannot use this decode function, right? Because salary equals to 5,000 you can use it in decode, but salary greater than or less than or not equals to, you cannot do it, right? So for that, what you can do, you can write your case statement, right? Your case statement. And case statement, how you can write it? Case is like when condition, then your result, right? When again some condition, then some result. When again some condition, then some result, right? So here you see, I just converted this expression using your else part, right? How you can do it? Region equals to n, then north. When region equals to south, then south. Region equals to s, then south. Region equals to e, then east. Region equals to w, then west, right? Here in place of equals to, you can use like operator as well, right? To check any string, any string, right? For string value, right? You can do it. So let's take a example so that it will be clear to you, right?
Yeah.
Of of your case statement, right? So let's take an example like salary less than 5,000, then it will be your salary less than 5,000, then it will be low. Salary less than 10,000, then it will be medium. Salary lesser than 20,000, then it will be good, else it will be excellent. So how you can do it? How you can write it? For writing that, right? This is your criteria, right? For writing that, what you will need? Select first salary, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then what you need to write? You see in the slide, first statement is case, right? So I have given case. Then your when, right? See, when. Then some condition, right? Condition. Your condition will be
One condition
salary
less than
salary less than 5,000, right? Then result will be what? Your low. Again, in the same way, you can put it like this.
So do you need to repeat the select? No.
What? Select.
Do you need to repeat the select or you still the same select?
In the same select only. This is just a expression, right? I'm writing it for you.
Right. Oh.
Medium, right? For the rest, it is good, right? Now, if I execute it from employees, right, and at the end of it, you see, else is ending with end, right? So I need to put it one end and a column name, right? Like your it could be any value you can put it, right? I have given some random name, qualified salary, right? So if I execute it, what you will get? See, salary, against it you will get some grading system, right? Salary is good, salary is bad, salary is medium, salary is low, something like that, right? So for 24,000 we have not given any criteria, right?
Yeah.
So for 24,000 we are getting null, right? So let's put for 24,000 also, right? So how you can put it for that? It will be else.
Else.
Excellent, right?
Yeah.
So it will be like that. If I execute this statement now, you will get this kind of value.
So why did you put end? End qualified salary end.
So that is the syntax, right? That signifies that yes, your case statement which you started here is ending here, right? So next, if you want some other column, right? So you put some comma and you can use employee ID. Sorry, employee ID. You can use it. So end signifies that yes, whatever you started, you see, I click here and these two are getting highlighted, means it start from here and it's end here, right? And we are giving the column alias like this, right? So your statement ends here only, right? Similarly, if you click on decode, right, this bracket, right, both the bracket are getting highlighted, means from here it start and here it ends, right, like that. So now if I execute this query, what you will get? See, you are getting a salary qualifier and your salary column and your employee ID. Any other confusion?
Hold on. So you're saying it's going to be end qualified salary, right?
Yes, you can give any XYZ name here, no issue.
So it's
This
going to
is your,
we have put it, yeah, run it like that.
if you won't put it any
XYZ.
value, let me put XYZ, right?
Yeah.
XYZ, right? So this is just a column alias name, right? So you see it will come as XYZ. If I won't mention here anything,
What if you
right?
put nothing? What if it's empty?
If I put empty and execute, what you will get? This whole string you will get it, right? So to make it easily and readable, we are giving alias name, right? Alias name could be anything, right? So sal grade I have given, right?
Why are we
So
putting employee ID again after that?
a pardon,
Why are we putting employee ID?
employee ID just to see whose salary is this one, right? So you can remove this one, no issue,
Okay.
right? I just wanted to show you that yes, uh, this your case statement ends here. So after putting comma, like what you are doing, first name comma last name comma your salary comma commission percentage, like that you used to write it, right? So this is your expression. After that you can put some another column name as well. So for that purpose I put it employee ID. Okay.
Okay.
Any other confusion here?
No.
Okay. So case and decode is clear to you?
Yeah. I'm gonna watch the video again.
Okay. Okay, so you go with the video again, okay,
Yeah.
and if you find any difficulties or any understanding related issues, right, you just let me know, right? So for more, right, for more, if during the interview, right, if you're during the interview, they might ask you that yes, what is the difference between case and decode, right? So you can simply say case is a statement, decode is a function. Why case is a statement? Because we can write our own condition, right, in XYZ, whatever, using your greater than, using your less than, using not equals to, using between, using like. You can use all kind of permutation combination in your condition section and you can generate your own condition, right? But in function it will be your with equality operator you can write your expression, right? So in function you need to specify your input in the specified format and then it will give you the output. But here you can write your own condition, right,
Yeah.
and you can
Hold on for
execute.
hold on for me. Okay, I'm back.
Okay, so you can see, right, your case function is much more better option because case is what, case is more flexible than decode, right?
Yeah.
Your decode is restricted with only equals to operator, right? But you can write your between, your you can write your like, you can write your greater than, you can write your less than, you can use all sort of permutation combination in your conditional expression, right? And you can get your result as per your condition. But here you need to put only equals to. If a, then return this. If b, then return this. So only equals to operator it allows, right? Only equals to, nothing else. Easier to read, right? Easier to read means what? If you don't know the syntax, right, if you don't know the syntax of your decode function, right, it will be difficult to understand you this expression, right, what it is written here, right? But if you know simple English, right, you see this expression, salary less than 5,000 then low, salary less than 10,000 then medium, salary less than 20,000 good, else excellent, right? So in your normal language, right, the way you are talking, you simply say case when salary less than 5,000 then low, when salary less than 10,000 then medium, when salary less than 20,000 then good, else it is excellent. So case is like your English statement, right? So those who understand English can easily interpret what is written here, right, and easily understand the expression, right, which is written using case function. So that's why case is easier to read, right? Case is a statement where decode is a function. We have already discussed it, right? So case
Yeah.
is essentially a better implementation of decode, so the resource for using either are similar, right? So whatever condition, right, you are writing using your decode function, right, using your decode, whatever function you are writing, right, you can write it using case statement, because in case you can in place of condition, you can usually use equals to, right, but in decode you cannot use greater than or less than or like something like that, right. So there is some restriction to use your decode function. Clear?
Yeah, clear.
Okay. So in the problem assignment, right, in problem assignment 4, I have shared some of the problems with your case and decode, right. So let me show you, and you just go with that, so that you can do some more assignments, right. So just give me a second. So here if you go in the section, right, single row case and decode, right. So we have already covered all the problem statements, right, which uh, is required to solve these assignment, right, assignment 3, which is single row function case and decode. So you can go with this assignment and you just try to solve it out, so that you get some clarity, right, about today's case and decode. There is one problem statement, you see, case number 13. Using decode function, write a query that will display a grade of all employee based on value of job ID column, right. We have seen in the example, right, AD
Yeah.
express, then A, ST man, then B, IT proc, then C, SA representative, then D. I encoded it in a different with some different value, but you need to write it like that only, right. If IT proc, then A, simple, right. So if I execute it, you will get the value, you see, for IT proc you will get A. What they are asking for IT proc, C, right. So let me put C, you will get C, right. So like that you can write your query string and you can use it. Same query you try to write it using your case syntax, right. So you try to solve this problem assignment number 3 after watching this video, right. So in next class we'll start with your decode, sorry, your grouping function, right, because this is the new topic, and to discuss this thing it will require another 1.5 hour, right. So we'll start this topic in the next class, right. After that we are ending with only few things like your DML operation, that will discuss in one day. So in 2 day your all the modules will be completed, your module 1, right.
Yeah.
In the next 2 class your module 1 will be completed. Okay.
Do you need a word?
Do I need to repeat the same explanation once again?
No, no.
Okay. So up to we'll start this topic in the